What's up, everyone? It's been a minute. What's up? All right. Hope everyone's enjoying themselves. All right, let me catch up with chat. There we go. Now chat's like loading. You good to go? Let's go. Jeff, what's up, dude? Astronaut. Jeff beat you. He beat you to the punch. It's all right. It happens. Up the. It be too loud. It should just be kind of some background stuff. So I hope you guys are doing good. Adrian, of course, thanks for hanging out. Jeff may have been first. Yes, he may have been, and he is. Stomach's feeling a little funny. I had lunch with some friends, and I really hope I didn't eat something bad or whatever. Stomach's acting a little weird, so if I kind of have to like either excuse myself or end the stream early, that could be it. I felt completely fine when I did the X post and I did the thumbnail, and all that stuff like an hour and a half ago. But now it's up to me a little. You're passionate. Oh my god, someone whom I have no affiliation with listed Miles Spider-Man comic 21SR. Comic 21 SR limited to only 40 copies at 165 gems. That dude is crazy. Yeah, I haven't really looked that closely at that one, but no, it sounds like a good deal. I'll be honest, I don't really pay too close attention to the SRs because I just, some I can afford, but some of those ones where it's like first appearance of this character or it's like a big SR comic, I don't really look at those too much. At least me personally, but some people are big secret rare comic enjoyers, so. Loaded. Must be something in the air today. I saw some crazy person list SR Miles for 7.5K. That is wild. Things worth at least 100K. Yeah, I mean, it's all time frames, right? If it was worth 100K, then everyone would list it for 100K, but I think that's the same person that like sniped a Miles SR for like super cheap, right? Didn't someone accidentally list a Miles like last week or 2 weeks ago for an insanely low price and someone sniped it? And now they've been relisting it for super cheap just to kind of floor it or flip it, I guess. Planet Prophet says, try beans on toast. Do it properly. You'll realize not all food is sugar. Yeah, it's look at me. I'm drinking. See, this is, I don't know if you can see that. I mean, you can't really, it doesn't say sugar. Yeah, it says 0 sugar. I know the stuff is terrible for me, and I can't pronounce half the stuff that's on here. But, I've been watching some funny, like YouTube shorts and stuff like that, where it talks about, like, how Europeans view Americans and how Americans view Europeans, and this one, like, kind of, or whatever. It's pretty funny. Beans on toast, please. Can we get that? Oh, can we get the police in here? Yeah. It's this comment right here, officer. This is the comment. Talking about beans on toast. That's, I don't know. What do you guys call the police in wherever you're from, Planet Prophet? I don't know which country you're from, but. Oh, peacekeepers? Let's go. What's up, Slider? Someone say beans on toast. I don't know what it is. I'm assuming from the UK, because the UK is like typically beans on toast, but I don't know. I guess other places also don't enjoy good food, so that's why they also have beans and toast. I don't know. But okay, now I feel bad that SR comic is mine. Which one? Oh, is someone singling you out? Come on. Man, it's been about a week and a half since my last stream. I just looked at my last stream and it was like June 5th, and I'm like, man, it's been over a week. I've just been absurdly busy with work and kind of stressed out, low-key, but glad I'm hanging out with you guys right now. I knew I had to do something this weekend, so Yeah, there's a lot of really good deals on the market from what I saw. So that's kind of wanted to, obviously, I mean, we always talk about the market here, but a few other things too. I also wanted to talk about, they call police the bobbies in the UK. Isn't there also a term for Canadians too? They have like a funny name. Maybe it's for like the, it's for their like national park, like sheriffs. I don't know what you'd call them, like rangers or something like that. Mounties. See, Slider knows what's up. Mounties is infinitely more cultured than I am. Bobbies and Mounties. We call ours the Popo. Popo. That's the legitimate name, and then police is like an elongated version. The official one is Popo. They just want to be fancy and call it police. KGM Jam, what up, vibes? Everyone, I heard it's only $100 to withdraw now. Yeah, it's only $100. It's on. Here, let me show you if I can find it. It was on.
One of them had Deadpool.
I'm gonna mute this. Somewhere in here. I could have sworn it was in here. Not loading. Load this.
Available in our shop.
Announced. Oh yeah, there we go.
And stay tuned.
I'll show it now.
Payout requirements threshold being reduced from 500 to 100 gems. Please see the full updated blog article for the full details. This week we also had Deadpool kills.
It was in the review by My Collectibles. So coppers, yeah, coppers, Popo, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that was yeah, it's 100 gems now to cash out. So technically I could cash out. I mean, it's cool they lowered the threshold from 500 to 100. I think the sweet spot in my opinion is probably around 50. 20 would be cool, but I think 50 is probably like the sweet spot. But again, it's up to Veve or whoever they're partnered with to facilitate that like cash out feature or whatever it is. So I don't know, are you guys keeping your guys' eyes on anything? I did buy a couple things recently. I don't know, so I actually just noticed, and I meant to take a screenshot of this and post it on Twitter, but I didn't even realize this. I'm at 151 collectibles, so I got my 150th collectible that I grabbed. I don't know, and odds are I might sell some things. You know, my collectible count kind of goes up and down depending on if some things are going up and I don't really care for it anymore, I'll sell it. I think I snagged a Thor hammer. I've always wanted the hammer because this is the classic one, right? Potential Veve versus utility stuff right there, right? But I think I bought mine for 6 gems. Now the floor is now 9. So I feel like I kind of hit the bottom on that. And then Cyclops, I actually sniped this one today. Someone listed it for 24 gems, 25 gems. And I think at the time the floor was 35 or 36. So it was like a full 10 gems below. I don't know, this Cyclops is like really surprising me. I'm actually surprised at its price point. I thought it would be a little bit closer to like 25-ish or whatever, but like so far of all the not all the Marvel Mighties, but all the ones used for like the Venom crafting, like this rare Cyclops is doing the best by far. Like alongside the other rares. It's like Gambit's a rare too. What's he going for on the floor? Going for 7. So I realize Cyclops is a big character, but there's also a big following for Gambit too. But at this point, Cyclops is going for 7 times the price of Gambit, and they have the exact same mint numbers, right? So I'm pretty sure maybe there's less Cyclops because I do know that was used. That used for burning? I don't remember. Needs to figure out the website. So it could be my internet. Who knows? Yeah, there's 2,200 of these, so it's like Cyclops is 7 times the price basically. I mean, 7, you know, 6, 7 times the price. Let's call it that. What? No, I did my math wrong. That's 49. No, it's 5 times the price. 5 times the price. Regardless, that's still a lot. Summon floor 25, NYX comics, commons at the floor, all 4-digit mints. I picked less, all of them up as fast as they're being listed. Yeah, sometimes you get that. I mean, if you notice, especially late at night or something like that, I'll notice that sometimes there's just one person just listing a bunch of comics or collectibles for like 20% or more below the floor, or in this case, like Pasternak said, like 4-digit mints. Like, I just chill on there. I'll like refresh the page. I'll notice, oh, there's a collectible listed by this guy. And I'm like, oh, he's actually listed at like 20% before the floor. I might buy it. I'll refresh again. There's another collectible. Same guy listing it for below floor price, just over and over and over. So I don't know if it's someone just liquidating. I really thought prices were going to go down much quicker ever since the cash out announcement, because I do think people that either had very low gems or were trying to hit that 500 gem mark, obviously, because they couldn't hit 500 gems easily, they just kind of gave up. And now that the withdrawal threshold's 100 gems, I thought the market would take an even bigger pullback than what it's already doing. There's still a handful of collectibles I'm like keeping an eye on for the most part, mostly Todd and some of the other grails. I kind of want to snag those first before I start kind of grabbing all the things I quote unquote like. But occasionally there's just some prices that are just too good. Like Thor was on my watch list. The Thor Hammers was on my watch list. I just wanted to pick it up for as cheap as possible. I didn't really have like a timeline, but I saw it listed for 6 and the floor was 50, and I was like, whatever, I'll just grab it. If it's that cheap in gems, I usually don't mind snagging it. We bought 2 Avengers Uncommons last week. Still watching. Think some things might slip a bit more the next month or so. I think so too. I think I do think there's going to be a bit more slippage, as you said. Okay, I do think prices are going to go down a bit lower, right? Especially if Veve is going to announce like manga or whatever big thing. I mean, they already announced it in a way, right? They announced their partnership. What was it called again? It was like Wiz. My collectibles has like a. Viz Media. I would say Wiz. Viz Media is the one that we're like partnered with, and they do handle anime, manga, like all that stuff. So, I mean, if we get some big anime or like manga announcements, yeah, prices could go even lower, right? People don't really want to put in. People don't want to buy gems, right, with cash. I think people are saving up for a variety of things, or just people putting money in crypto, whatever it is. So. Why is Omi always crashing in price? I'm not sure. I think people see the time horizon of Omi being much longer than other crypto, right? It's like, okay, you can go out, you can buy Caspa or GFL, or there's Mammoth. There's a million crypto tokens. I'm not too familiar with like the meme tokens and stuff like that. And Chuck, I almost bought into Chuck really early, but just didn't really care to. Nothing against like the project or anything like that, but I think people are kind of realizing, okay, maybe the time horizon for Omi might be much longer, a few years, where I could just cash out, buy a different token that will probably pump, or maybe something will happen in the next 6 months. Not entirely sure. And I think just kind of the uncertainty around all the regulation around crypto, and then this, with Veve being attached to crypto and NFTs and digital collectibles and all these kind of aspects. I don't know. That's just kind of like my guess. I can't speak to the thousands of people that have invested in it and why they're flooring it. Market manipulation? Who knows? Avengers number 1. Yeah, Avengers 1. Let's I do want to pick up more of these. I do think this is one of the more slept on $10 comic, because I think this comic was $10 when it came out, right? There was a period of time where a lot of stuff was like, every grail or very high tier comic for a period of time was like 10,000 mints, 10 gems, right? No, this one was No, this one was 20. Take it back. So this one was 20 gems. So 20 gems and then 10,000 mints. But yeah, this is well below box price. I mean, even the commons, right? Like details. This was, yeah, it was 20 gems to purchase these. So, and we're kind of at the point now where unless you landed a rare or higher, you probably ended up, you know, just down on gems. Closure Crypto could look at Gari Network. I don't know who Gari or what Gari Network is. Yeah, this isn't like a. You seem. I think this is the first time I've seen you before. Disclosure Crypto. I'm not really. I'm only just going off of kind of what my friends have told me. There's a few tokens I've done like some research on, and what they're trying to do and accomplish. But I can't pull up like a coin or do any like tactical analysis or anything like that. That is not my forte. I've been buying season 1 collectibles. That's a very good call too. Is there a way to organize this by season 1? I know you can organize it by oldest to newest collectibles, but there's no like filter for like season collectibles. Brand name and key price. No release date. I remember what the very last, if I remember correct, like the Batman Who Laughs thing was like the last season 1, or no, I think it was the Dragon Girls were the last season 1 collectibles, I believe. Let's go on here. Sure, Dragon Girls were the last season 1. Dargan. One word or 2 words? Okay, it's 2 words. Season 2. Okay, so I think Dragon Girl was the first season 2 collectible then. Okay, actually I do see it. Or no, this is S1. Okay, that's series 1. 5. Up Nessie. If you're Canadian and you don't own a Nessie, I feel like you should by now. Or no, it's not Nessie. It's what's the Canadian one? Ogo Pogo. That's the one. They look similar. Actually, they look identical, but just a different color scheme. Ogo Pogo. I feel like if you're Canadian, you gotta own one of those. Yeah. So okay. So the Cryptkins were the last season 1 collectibles. Once I got into Dragon Girl, I believe that's where the season 2 started. Let me look at the other Dragon Girl. I'll look at the silver and black just to double check. And Dragon Girls are going for like 17. I actually do like the collectibles a lot. Yeah, buying season 1 stuff. Ooh, okay. Never mind. This set of Dragon Girl is the last season 1 collectibles. The like gold one, I think that maybe dropped later, because when was this? May 20 or May 13th. I've been trying to use the new 2.0 website on Veve. It's just way too slow. I'm clicking on stuff and sometimes it takes up to like 15 to 30 seconds for it to load some page. Some pages are quick, some pages take forever to load, so. Dragon Girl Gold. Oh, this dropped way later. Okay, like October. Okay, maybe it's just... Alright, yeah, this is season 2. Okay. Yeah, so the Dragon Girls are the last season 1 collectibles. Very good point. I've always thought Omi was a hold until 2028 minimum because of how slow the team moves. Yeah, I mean, I think people that were buying Omi in what, like 2019, or I don't know how long the actual Omi token itself has been out. but at least that long, right? Because that's when Veve and all that stuff started. So, I mean, it's been 6 years, and really not much has changed, or Omi token hasn't really been expanded all as much as the original investors thought it, or the people that have invested, the first 4 years of Omi. It's kind of hard when you're looking at other coins doing, 23% pump or 50% or already gone up 200+% or even more in that same time frame. I think a big reason is people are realizing that Omi is not going to be listed on Coinbase or Binance anytime soon with the regulations and them being worried about Yeah, I think it could be all that. Again, we can kind of speculate all day. I mean, Omi was super low not too long ago. And then it pumped up to like 0.0006, so 0006 for a very brief period of time. Just because it got so cheap. And I think it was the manga announcement, with Viz. Media? Yeah, Viz Media. I think it was that announcement that got people kind of hyped. And so if you're like, oh my god, anime manga, and so it pumped up and then it sold off just as quickly as it pumped up. I mean, it's already back down to 0004. I was gonna put in like, a few extra $100 into Omi. So cheap, but there's also just other things I'm like, oh, I could just put that, $500-600 somewhere else. Oh my god, just sent me Viz has Dragon Ball Z, and I gifted one Dragon Ball Z1 to David at Crypt XR in France. Nice, dude. No, that's cool that you gifted him. I really think David enjoys obviously those gifts that are very personal to people. It's like their favorite IP or whatever it is. But yeah, Viz Media, they're anything that shows like a list of their IPs. I'm just trying to find online. Yeah, they have a lot. They have a lot of stuff, and I'm pretty sure, like you mentioned, Dragon Ball Z is one of them. Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, Bleach, Naruto. Yeah, they got all the big ones for sure. I'm still waiting for Berserk. I don't think it's age appropriate for Veve. Not age appropriate, but it's not like I don't think that anime is appropriate for Veve. But that's cool, Adrian, that you gave him that. So. Like David Hughes giving you Dragon Ball Z back, but in a different way, right? Still can't figure out why Immutable X is not posting Veve all over its platform. I'm not sure. Licensing, whatever. Knows. I've been looking at picking up FA Harley Quinn. I need to check those prices out again. Last time I looked, it was around 100 gems, maybe lower. Oh, it was much lower than that. I actually grabbed a Harley Quinn probably about a month ago. Done this. Oh my. I picked her up for 30 gems about a month ago, and I think she's approaching that price again. I thought I timed the bottom, which I believe I did. Okay, so it did sell for 28 pretty recently. Yeah, right now she's been hovering around, call it 30 to 35. 35? Yeah, now. And keeping an eye on Joker too. Oh my god, she's going for 25. Even lower than when I bought her a month ago. Yeah, there's a Harley Quinn for 25. That's like 12%, 13% below floor, maybe more than that actually. Oh, that's 29. No, that's well below the floor. We're gonna look at this in a few minutes, and I'm sure someone's gonna snipe it. Let's look at Joker. I think Joker below 40 is a, you know, not financial advice, but I think Joker below 40, not a bad price. He's been hovering around this like low 40s, mid 40s for a long time, for over a month now. Still waiting for it to go below 40. If he goes below 40, I'll snag him. But I'm mostly keeping an eye on this guy. God, oh man, he pumped. I looked at him, he was going for like 395. I really wish I snagged him when he was at like 360. Like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and now he's up already 100 gems from where he was. I'm just gonna give it time. I know whenever these like big announcements, whenever Veve kind of announces like a new IP or like a new, like, I'm just gonna call it vertical, right? Anime, manga, whatever. Whenever Veve kind of announces a new vertical or like a teaser, things kind of pump and then they settle down. So I'm just gonna give it time. I'm not in a huge rush to buy these things. I mean, I've been in Veve for gonna be 3 years in October, so I'm not in a huge rush because I've already been doing this for over 2.5 years. Omi is to sell the new crypto. Next news should be Omi to NFT. Buy Omi now and sell after the announcement. Yeah, it's one of those things where it just definitely ebbs and flows with just any kind of announcement, any kind of somewhat teaser utility or anything related to Veve or Omi that generates some spark of excitement. Yeah, Omi tends to go up, then it just goes right back down, at least from my experience. Cool Mo, dude, what's up? It's been a minute since we've chatted. Hope everything's well with you, dude. Hope that comic, gosh, I remember I gave you one of those like Superior Spider-Man comics some time ago, so I hope that's treating you well. I still have a few of them. One of these days I might do a giveaway. I still have like 7 of them or something like that, maybe a little bit less. I think I have like 6. Hamoon, can we go to the market and just look at some collectible prices? Yeah. Right, like on the, just on Veve like this. I do this all the time. I do think it's easier on the app because you could just kind of swipe and it updates pretty quickly. Baloo, awoo. Around 180. I don't know why it took me a while to actually notice the little Veve heart it has in its chest. So that's kind of a cool. It's another Veve Go type thing. Gambit. Remember it. Executive speak. 27 months. Thank you so much for the 27 months. Dude, I need to do something for you guys. I'm a terrible streamer. You know, I'm gonna message me your, what's it called? Executive speak. What's it called? DM me your wallet address. I know Hinano gave me a bunch of NFTs, or he gifted me a bunch of NFTs on OpenSea, and he only gave me so many, and so there's some pretty cool looking ones, and I do want to give you one for being sub for 27 months, and I do want to do more stuff for you guys as well. Once work hopefully slows down soon, I do want to spend more time doing stuff. Thanks again. Well, 30, yeah, I think I need to check out the collectibles more. I usually go on and then get stuck just looking at comics for hours. Dude, I'm the same way. Comics are so easy just to nibble at, like 1, 2 gems there and just refresh, right? So. What up? Go on my screen or do anything crazy here. I'll show you guys really quick. Let's see here. The ones that Nano gave me, so thanks, shout out to him for making these for me. These are just like random ones I have in my wallet, but these ones look pretty cool. There's different like levels or rarities. There's like common, uncommon, cool ones as well. Probably, even though this is, I think one of them he gave me is a 1 of 1. Go back or no, there's more than one of those. I actually like the black and white one with like the very subtle black and white. I think it's the uncommon. There's just like lights in the background. I think it looks sick. So, and thanks for that, Hinano. Now we actually have something to give to my my viewers. SR Spider-Man pumped over 1,000 gems. Were they sales or delistings? Question. Because quite a few collectibles did pump. For animated, all right, yeah, I agree. Let's look at it really quick, and then we'll jump back to the market and just look at random stuff. Yeah, it bottomed out at basically 2,500. I could have sworn I saw a listing for like 2,200. Give this a second to load. Wow, dude. Today, someone bought 3 SR Spider-Mans. Yesterday, there was a purchase. Okay, so over the last 2 days, 2.5 days, I don't know, let's just call it 3 days, 5 SR Spider-Mans were purchased. That is crazy. And they were all by different people, so it's not like one person bought, you know, 2 or 3 of them. It was 5 different people. Warrior 76. Let's look at this. Let's look at this middle wallet. Let's go ahead and lurk a little bit. Execu speak vibes. Let's go. Yes, sir. Flow Meetable X is focusing on gaming, not collectibles. Mike is acting weird sometimes. Am I tripping? Is that me or is the mic messed up, or do I need to fix it? Flow. It looks like the... Give me one sec. Let's see. All right, is it better now? It should be better now. I think it's because the mic, you know, the mic actually, you know, you're supposed to talk into one way, and I guess it was like turned somehow, so like it wasn't picking up my voice, so it should be better now. So Flo, let me know if it's fixed. Sweet, totally not necessary, but I'm in. Okay, cool. Mic seems fine. Oh yeah, lots better. Okay. It is cutting out for a few seconds now. Yeah, it sounds much louder now. Okay, that's my bad. But yeah, let's see what this guy's doing. Yeah, this guy knows what's up. Buying Ultimate Fallout 4, so he's buying Vader, which is a grail, Superman, that's a grail, Todd, that's a grail, Spider-Man, that's a grail. He's buying okay, well, he hasn't bought anything. So today, yeah, I guess this guy just logged in and just said like, I'm gonna buy 1 Spider-Man, 1 Todd, 1 Superman, 1 Vader, and 1 first appearance Miles Morales. Kind of interesting he bought a common, not even like a low digit, just kind of like a random mint common. But he does have all the, looks like he has a lot of the black pink stuff. All right, let's chill and look at the market. Dude is doing work. Yeah, dude just woke up this morning and said, I'm gonna spend my bonus check on Veve today. I do have a bonus coming up for myself at work, so I'm kind of excited for that. I haven't completely figured out how I'm gonna allocate the money, how much I'm gonna put in crypto, how much am I gonna put in Veve, how much am I gonna put for just general savings or investing. I do want to put some aside for you know, maybe fun stuff, travel, whatever. We'll see. I do want to travel a bit more. I think it would actually be kind of cool to go to a different part of the US that has a lot of the Veve fam and visit there for a bit. What's the price of You Are Vader now? Was that 248 gems? What's Vader doing? Which, okay, this reminds me, have you guys watched Acolyte yet? The Acolyte on Disney Plus? Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. He's going for 220. It would not surprise me if this guy gets below 200 in the next month. Either by just market, just boredom, like not really new things happening, nothing that's really like exciting the market, or Veve's gonna announce like, well, we already have a essentially an Ultraman like manga or comic coming out, right? We've already kind of announced that like partnership. But if Veve does announce something like a bigger IP in the next like month or so, I mean, I do think prices are going to go lower. So you had the goat name Veve Vibes. Did Veve file a copyright against you? No, not at all. I'll be honest, I just changed my name like February, maybe January of this year. It's funny because I'm still talking about mostly Veve. I do want to start expanding into Cryptoys like a little bit. I'm talking like in a live stream, you know, maybe we'll talk about it for, you know, 10 or 15 or 20 minutes. And I do want to be able to talk about other projects that I'm interested in, or if they're doing things that I think that are interesting. Kind of elaborate if they have a market. That's the main reason I didn't really talk about crypto, is like there's no market. There wasn't a market for a long time. Quite frankly, the box price was just too high for stuff, at least for me personally. It's like, all right, I could buy a cube for 40 gems, 40 bucks, and hope to randomly get a certain thing, or I could just buy a ton of comics or like a Luke Skywalker or something like that on Veve, right? So that was kind of my thing, but they're doing a lot of interesting stuff over in Cryptoy. So I can't talk about it. Let's say I can't talk about it. I just today I'll probably just talk about Veve, but I do want to start familiarizing myself with like Cryptoys, their market, what are they doing? Because I do think they have a lot of interesting stuff coming up and around the corner. I'm actually clearing some things out of my inventory myself at the moment. Held on to stuff way too long, and I'd rather just get the gems and put them into grills. It's not a bad call. That's not a bad call. I should probably do the same because there's a whole lot of collectibles I just either just don't really care for, or I'm like, all right, I'm not going to miss this if I just sell it, or I could just really use the gems. Because I have kind of caught myself putting in a few more gems, putting in more raw gems recently than I kind of have before. Can someone floor a low mint Wonder Woman? Someone help out Concord here. Someone help my boy out, floor a low mint Wonder Woman. Do I have a Wonder Woman? Are you talking about FA Wonder Woman? Because there's like 3 of them, right? I'm assuming you're talking about FA. Y'all making me want to delist my SR Miles. Is that your Miles on the floor? Ooh, big A. Dude, do what you want, dude. I will say, just, you know, if you're going to sell this, I don't know, do what you want. Either have a plan or be like, all right, I'm just going to keep the raw gems. I do think Veve collectibles are going to keep going down, right? But I mean, just the last few days we've had 5, let's just call them whales, because I mean, if you're spending 7 grand, or maybe it wasn't 7 grand, it was much cheaper. It was like low 3, right? So they were selling for like 2K and 3K, so that's probably why they got bought up. I mean, 7.5K is still a lot, especially if you got it on the drop, right? Amazing, I like that. That's the Acolyte question, right? Or are you talking about something else? I'm there are some glimpses of it being good, but more often than not, it just seems, it's like it doesn't feel like Star Wars to me. Plus the cash out drop to 100 gems is great, but I think now the threshold is lower. I think prices drop more because you only need 100 gems to cash out. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what my thought was. I think I said that earlier in the stream, that maybe it'll take some time, or people are going to be more aggressively flooring stuff because maybe the announcement, they like barely undercut someone and it's just not selling within the day. They undercut again, and then someone undercuts them, and it just kind of keeps going. So I do think this week coming up, especially if Veve announces like another big thing, I mean, the flooring could get harder. Wokalite. Is that how you pronounce it? I watched the first 5 minutes and turned it off. Yeah, they it's not even like a spoiler, but when Cryptoys Marketplace though, I want to sell my stuff, doing some work on Drop 2. The Cryptoys Marketplace is like up and running, at least last I heard. I think they might have been doing fixes or stuff like that, but I could have sworn like it's up and running. You can trade it for. I would need to do more research. I've heard people talk about it in live streams and all that stuff in like certain videos, but I would actually have to like sit down and do some research or talk with someone that's actually like trading on Cryptoys and kind of you know, pick their brain a bit. Watched the first episode, haven't watched another. Meh. Someone first thing this morning dropped a bunch of them for $1 to $3 on Cryptoys. Arcade, what's good, dude? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you had a good birthday. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. Good to see that you're alive and your liver as well, so that's good. Yeah, I mean, stuff for $1 or $3. I mean, I wouldn't mind, you know, throwing $20 at Cryptoys and buying 10 things, right? I mean, for those prices, yeah, you could buy a lot of cheap stuff. Yeah, bro, FA. Yeah, someone list a FA. Someone list a FA. Something went wrong. That's not a word. Someone go ahead and list a first appearance Wonder Woman for my boy Conquered. I'm just not a fan of the writing. I couldn't care less about any like the political stuff that's like going on in the show. I just think the writing is boring. The show is just kind of boring. They kind of take a dump on some of the kind of established Star Wars stuff. That's just kind of my take on it. It just like randomly came up, and the episode 3 chant, it was too much. It was too much for me. Me and my roommate were just laughing hysterically at that point. So Big A, no, if I sell miles, I'm putting it all into alts, Renner. Yeah, I mean, I do agree with that, unless something absolutely insane happens with Veve in the next like year and a half. You're probably right. There's probably a lot of crypto that'll probably do better in the relatively short term. I'm talking like within the next like year and a half than Veve, but we'll see. Again, like Veve could announce some like absurd partnership in like October, and then mass marketing, and then Disney and everyone gets on board with like advertising, you know, on their social media, actually promoting Veve, you know, links to actually like go straight to the website, get a free collectible, do this, utility, like who knows, right? But until that happens, yeah, crypto so far has just been doing great. Passion, I actually don't think the grails are going to go down anymore. We keep getting more and more drops, and it only highlights the fact that grails are king. That is true. I mean, some grails, the ones with a lot of mint numbers, I mean, even look at Miles, right? Miles is one of the lowest mint grails, and it went all the way down to like, what was it? How cheap was Miles at one point? I need to just pull it up. Okay, so he's down here. So 7K. Okay. I sometimes I get his pricing mixed up with Peter Parker. Peter Parker was down to like low 2K at some point. I think this is the lowest Miles has ever been, is 7K. But I mean, when you look at the chart, only been going in one direction, right? Like how the top like 6, 7 holders all have 3 miles. Just DM'd you on Twitter vibes. I'm staying away from Acolyte because generally speaking, new Star Wars just hasn't been my thing. No, I feel it. I just kind of watch it because I don't know. After me and my roommate watched it on Tuesday last week, because that's when it like released on Disney Plus. The last 5 days we watched episode 1 Star Wars all the way through 3. We watched the prequels. And I can already tell, like, the writing, everything is better. We even like looked up like the budgets of the movies and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. If you like it, good for you. I hope you like the act. Like, there are some interesting points to it. There's like glimmers of cool things. I think the fight with oh my gosh, what's his name? Soul and like just calling the main protagonist or whatever they were finding. Some of those parts are pretty cool. There's a couple of things too that I enjoyed, but it also just doesn't have like the scale of Star Wars. Like there's so many like big vast scenes and all that stuff. I don't know. I feel like the show's like very claustrophobic. A lot of stuff takes place in like very small cramped rooms and ships and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't feel like very large. I don't know. This is the text I put when I This is the text I get when I click on Crypto's Marketplace. Dr. Fudd strikes again. It's delayed teleportation. Okay, I guess they're doing fixes on it. So I thought you meant like they don't even have a marketplace, which is technically true, but they do have one. They're just working on it. I didn't drink for my B-Day. I was actually working on a farm in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Interesting. Trying to find some inner peace like a Jedi. I mean, you went to Kenosha, even just sounds like a planet in Star Wars, right? So you just go there, hang out. I haven't drank since. That's good. Awesome, man. I need to circle back. I need to look at your Kid Arcade like OpenSea marketplace again and see if I can buy something. It's been a while since I've gotten something off your at least some that I've actually paid for. You know, I know I've won a couple things on your live streams and won them for free, but I want to get something that you know you can only get with moolah, right? Cryptoid has two marketplaces. The Rareable one where you sell for gems. That is open since June 1st. The marketplace on that site sells for Toykin with no dollar value and isn't open yet. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'll have to look at those. I do want to kind of brush up on Cryptoids because I have not looked at them for like 8 months until somewhat recently when they announced like the marketplace. Let me just catch up really quick with chat, and then we're just gonna just chill and look at the market, refresh the page, look at some prices. You know, let's see if anyone picked up Harley. Was it Harley or who was really cheap? It was Harley Quinn. You guys don't buy her, I will. All right, someone grabbed her. Good. 25 gems. FA Harley Quinn. I know these old collectibles have somewhat high mints, you know, 7,500, but I mean, season 1, first appearance, Harley Quinn's one of the most popular like female fictional characters for sure. Oh, okay, I'm not a big old dummy then. I'll look on Rareable. Yeah, there's that too. Watch one episode, then watch the second Dune. Dune is 1,000 times better. So Dune, apparently the budget on Dune was like $170 million for that whole movie. It was somewhere around there, but the budget for Acolyte was $180 million. And I know there's more like film time and all that stuff in Acolyte, but I watched Dune 2 and it was incredible. I had to explain a lot of stuff to my roommate. He's kind of a normie, you know, nothing against him. He's not like he's nerdy in some things, but I kind of had to like explain a lot of stuff to him. And I'm familiar with like the Dune universe. I would say more than like your average person. I've like read the books, but I'm more familiar with it than like your average person. Oh, I said sell for gems. I meant sell for USDC on Polygon, no cash out, goes right into your wallet. Gotcha. I was gonna say, I kind of knew you meant like cash instead of gems. I just kind of rolled with it. So, all right, we're gonna catch up with chat. What's good, Vibes? You've been watching the new season of The Boys. I have not. I want to. I think I've only seen the first 2 seasons, if I remember correctly. So I might even have to watch the 3rd season as well as the 4th, but I do want to watch that show. I'm trying to convince my friend to watch it like with me. He said he watched like the first like couple episodes and he like couldn't get into it. I'm like, bro, you couldn't get into The Boys and you watched the first 2 episodes? Like, I don't know. I think you weren't paying attention or you forgot. I mean, it was a long time ago. Miles Floor was around 3K, then 6K, then all the way up to Sergio selling his for 15. Since that top lowest. Okay, maybe it was cheaper. It's for 7. Okay, so it was listed. Oh, so it wasn't I wasn't just making shit up. It was 3K at one point. Oh, Star Wars Kenosha? Kind of sounds like Genosha, right? Kind of. Can you link the Cryptoids marketplace? I'll try and find it. I haven't gone on there myself. Cryptoids marketplace. I mean, I don't know if you mean like the wearable one. I mean, this is just, I don't know. I just went off that. Comic refreshing has been lagging for me today. Anyone else having this problem? Let me check on my phone really quick. I did get a new phone, actually. That's also part of the reason why I haven't been doing a lot of like, I do want to upload more videos and AR stuff and tweet more often. Like my old phone was just super slow. Even when like taking a picture or doing a tweet, sometimes it would take a long time. It was just an old phone that I had for like 3.5 years or something like that. And it was one of those like really crappy ones. I think it was with T-Mobile. And I was like, I just wanted a cheap smartphone with a large screen. So I kind of got what I deserved. But I ended up getting a Samsung 24 Plus, which is like one of their like flagship phones. And it's super quick and snappy. The camera's great. So I do want to take like way more AR photos and stuff and like upload them and, you know, all that. So, because I do want to start making videos again and then also be using footage from like my camera to like do it. My old camera was just like way too bad to even remotely do a video on my phone. So Crazy Dan, what's up, dude? Good vibes. New Game of Thrones. Oh, show? What do you mean? New Game of Thrones. I know, what's it called? The Thrones. The new Game of Thrones show? I thought there was like House of Dragon or whatever. I did watch that. That one's really good. Are they coming out with a season 2? Yeah. Yeah, I guess they announced it. Review season, oh, or it's already out. Okay, yeah, it's not, I thought House of Dragon was probably the equivalent of like season 3 or 4 of Game of Thrones, probably like season 4, like the writing and all that stuff. So it's still very good. Obviously it's not as good as like classic actual from the book George R.R. Martin type stuff, but it's still very good. Yeah, I would probably watch Game of Thrones just because it's one season I need to catch up on rather than The Boys. I could DM you a link to the Cryptoids Marketplace if you want to see what is sold. There's an activity tab shows all the sales. Yeah, go ahead and shoot it over. I can't say I can look at it right now, but yeah, go ahead and shoot it over to me and I'll check it out. And then next time I stream, I do want to familiarize myself with like the Cryptoids Marketplace and just, you know, look around and have you guys educate me on like the good and the bad stuff. So oh no, the only market that's open is wearable market, the digital toy exchange. Okay, that's funny. I have a Samsung Galaxy 24 Ultra. So I thought about getting that one, but it was just like, it was just too much for me. I'm like, I don't know if I could just drop $1,000 plus on a phone, but I ended up getting went on the Amazon Marketplace and got a used one, not used, but I guess it was renewed, which I guess is different than used. I think renewed is used, but if something's like refurbished, that means there was something wrong with like the hardware and they fixed it. But yeah, I got this one for like $750, and that's not even including the 5% cash back on like using my Amazon credit card and stuff. And so I got that one. It has like 512 gigs of space and all that stuff. Like it's a phone that probably should have been like $950, and I ended up getting it for much cheaper. So and actually I just got my smartwatch delivered today. I never owned a smartwatch. I always had a normal watch, or I always hated wearing watches, but I do want to kind of keep track of like my steps, and occasionally I'm kind of away from my phone, so I do want to look at text or like respond to tweets and stuff like that. So finally upgrading my like tech life a bit. For me, it was just like computer for a long time, and I still like using the computer, but yeah, it was either that or it was the Pixel 8. And I think if you're talking about just raw efficiency and just like kind of price per power, like Google Pixel 8 is probably better. But if you just want raw power, better camera, better stuff, I kind of, with my research, I went with a Samsung Galaxy. That link isn't the one where you can buy Cryptoids. Okay, Sunday. Okay, so it starts Sunday. All right, might have to check it out. Thanks for the heads up, Arcade. I do like House of Dragon actually a lot. Season 1 was better than Game of Thrones season 1 in my opinion. You're probably right. It's been a while since I've seen like the first few seasons of Game of Thrones. It's been like a decade or something like that, at least, since season 1 Game of Thrones came out. I think for me, it was just so like, whoa, there's finally a new thing. I'm like, finally something that's like I don't know. I really like that like genre, like medieval kind of fantasy-esque kind of thing. And that was the first one in a while that kind of came out. So I was kind of excited. But I do like season 1 a lot of House of Dragon. Rob Cook, sup vibes? The Acolyte is hot garbage. Enjoy the rest of your day. Well, see you later. Thanks for stopping by. Hi, bye. Terrible. We'll have to see how episode 4 pans out. I'm gonna say that there's a reason why I just kind of binged watched episode 1 through, you know, I'll say movies 1 through 3 after watching Acolyte. Crotch Shot Batman. I did pick one of those up the other day for 3. Jason Fabek. I remember I used to recommend this guy all the time as like a good like mid-range Batman to buy, you know, good mint numbers. I will say this is probably, I will say aesthetically, this is probably like the most Batman on the app. I know I think I said this last stream too, but like when I think of like Batman, this is the version I think of. He's not like massive. He's got his utility belt. He has a pretty like high-tech suit. The other Batman versions look, you know, they look awesome too, don't get me wrong, but he looks like too massive or too skinny or like too much cape going on. Like I've realized there's artistic differences, but your YouTube profile looks like Andrew Tate, by the way. Thanks. That was the look I was going for. No, I have no idea. I don't know. I was bald before Andrew Tate became a thing. Let's just say that. DM with link to market sent. Already sold 2 Ultra Grails for $750 and $950. Holy crap, dude. Congrats. I just hope it didn't take you $1,500 to get to those Grail and Ultra Grails, or 2 Ultra Grails. Yeah, that was my main gripe, to be honest, with 2 cryptoids. No market and 40 gem box price to buy anything, and that's why I actually waited for the BOGO deal before I bought anything personally. But it sounds like they're kind of coming around. I remember when cryptoids like first came out. It seemed really interesting. I kind of just I met Will and all that stuff. There was like an interview, had a ton of fun talking with him. But then I kind of thought to myself, I'm like, man, imagine if Veve tried to spin something similar to what Cryptoids did, which is like, oh, by the way, you can get this like cool airdrop or this cool thing, but you have to collect everything. There's no secondary market, so you basically have to just press the $40 button as many times as you can to get lucky. So, but yeah, congrats to you, Big A. That's awesome. Hopefully you are either going to buy something else cool or you're going to invest in something else. So SR Spooderman, what's going on here? Like this one, like when I think of Batman, like when I think of Batman, I don't think of this style personally. Hey, there's something going on with Veve. I was gonna say, when I think of Batman, this isn't the version I think of. When I think of Batman, it almost looks like a kind of like weird gothic looking version of Batman. Yeah, market is just going slow. Maybe you're not the only one. Someone said earlier they were kind of having some issues with market just going like really slow. Let's see who that was. Yeah, Pasternak. Yeah, there's something going on here. I mean, it could be my internet, but I don't think that's the case. Down. Not even loading the rest of the stuff. There we go. How much this Veve guy's going for? There's only 4 of them listed. 236. There's not too many like Veve like merch, right? Memorabilia, NFTs, whatever you want to call it. I need to pick up a Slimer at some point. 12 bucks, 12.50 for a Slimer. Is this guy season 1? I think he is. Yeah, he's a season 1 collectible. There's a lot of season 1 collectibles going for cheap. There's so many other things I want to buy first. Like Supergirl, I mean, come on. I did not buy that. And I was gonna look at Wolverine really quick. Even Batgirl, I believe she's season 2 actually. Surprised I don't own one of her. I think I had like five Batgirls at one point. I think I ended up just selling them all. Yeah, she's season 2. It's a bit different. Let's take a look at the Stacker app and see what's up. I'm actually going to refresh it. I'm going to see what's up and what's down right now. I will say Uncanny X-Men, this one has made a big move. The end of like the Phoenix, kind of like that's like the end of the storyline for Phoenix. This was below like 120 or not 120. It was below like 1.5 gems for a long time, and I don't know if it's delisting. I mean, we could check right here. Yeah, there's someone today that bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, this guy bought 7 of these today. Which, you know, what is that? 15 gems or something like that? Not even. The comic floors are getting very, very thin, if you guys haven't noticed. Like if we while that thing is loading or thinking, I remember when comics would drop, there would be hundreds of them, right? They would kind of look like this right there, right? I don't, oh, you guys can't really see that. But we've gotten to the point now where like pretty much all there's less than 100 comics, including all the rarities. Like first appearance of I think this is Black Knight, right? Yeah, Black Knight, like 28 commons. It's actually more ultra rares than rares on the market. I think people are just there's so many comics now, or people own so many comics that people just don't know which ones to list, or people just kind of given up on it. I mean, I still list comics occasionally, but the comic listings are just getting so thin. Put up a massive wall at 150, or I guess it's just, oh, this guy named Beans put up like a ton for 150. The floor of some of these comics are super thin. This is a big one too. Not a big comic, but this is the start of the Phoenix. The other one we looked at was the end of like the Phoenix saga. I think there's less than 100 of these too. Unless there's less than 60 of these. Like there's a lot of comics on the app right now that are like under 60 mints. Not 60 mints, but under 60 like on the market. Big A, I bought 218 cubes on Cryptoids, maybe 70% were BOGO. If I sell my remaining 3 Ultra Grails and a few of my Grogrus, I could reimburse everything I put in and still have 213 collectibles left. That's awesome, dude. Huge congrats on that. Yeah, BOGO deal was, I remember that was a pretty contentious like topic, and when they announced the BOGO deal, I'm like, you know what, 20 bucks for 1 cube, whatever, I'll go for it. So I still have 10 cubes of the original Star Wars drop, like the very first one, plus a like 1 or 2 golden keys, or not keys, tickets. So I'm just gonna hold on to those like long term. I don't. Cryptos was kind of more of a moon play, but now that they're kind of doing more stuff with the market, they're doing some gamification, might get a bit more involved. When did this comic come out? I feel like this one did not come out very long ago. I don't know why sometimes Veve does this. Comic not found. It kind of just spits you back out to here. Refresh the page. don't know. Is there anything you guys are looking at? Are you guys making any like Veveverse plays, like either for speculation or anything like that? Kind of curious. Down there, okay. Just kind of curious your guys' take on that. I remember back in the day, oof, there was like so many things were about Veveverse. Oh, this will look great in the Veveverse. I'm gonna buy this. Remember there was like hoverboards, vehicles. I mean, those things could still come true, right? We just don't know. I mean, we haven't even seen the Veveverse in... I'm trying to remember when that sample video came out. I'm trying to remember. There's another person like the Veve community that made like that Joker video, right, with the Veveverse. I think it's been over a year. So the new Cars drop is cool. I agree. Actually, I'm all right. So don't jump me. Don't get upset. But I've not seen Cars. I've not seen the movie Cars. I'm assuming you're talking about the movie, like Pixar movie Cars, right? Gotta put Cars. I still have not seen the movie at all. I know the memes, but I do think like, yeah, like Toe Mater, Jackson Storm. I think Flo looks cool. So does Cruz. Talking about this one, or are you talking, is there like a new Cars drop that they announced that I'm not familiar with? The new drop. I mean the new drop. Okay, is it not listed on here yet? Is it on Twitter? Oh, this one. I haven't even looked at this yet. I had no idea this was a thing. What? All right, I'm looking at this for the first time. When did they post this? Was it today? I've not seen this, dude. Thanks for bringing this to my attention. I mean, I do like the way the other collectibles look, like the old one. You said new, and I'm like, I mean, that drop wasn't new, but it's the newest Cars drop. But oh, it's just like a big drive-in, or it's like a big diner thing. Lowe's V8 Cafe appears to be combined too. Okay, this is Veve needs to do more stuff like this. Actual environments or places or whatever it is, they need to do more of this stuff. We don't really have anything else like this, right? Except for the fish, the little fish tank things. I don't know if you guys know that, but the fish tank. Disco. What's it called? We'll do this. Okay, there it is. Yeah, there's like two. These are arguably environments, right? But like the disco fish tank. I actually kind of like this one, the disco octopus one. So that's kind of like a place or like an environment. Back to here, but this looks cool. I do like this. I mean, I'll drop 20 gems on this. 1,400 mints. I don't know. You guys think this is gonna go below retail? Actually, I have a good feeling this will go below retail. I would have to actually have to see it in AR, and like, do these light up? Do the lights flicker? Like, I need to see more than just this. If this is just a completely static thing and there's like nothing with the lights or anything like that, might just wait till it just goes lower. I mean, spending like 15 versus 5 gems, I don't know. Or 15 versus 20 gems isn't like a huge difference. Rob Cooks, I'm vibing for a bit. Cars drop is a cop at 20 gems. I do like this. I would have to see more though. Lug nuts, gas, oil, coolant, grease. Yeah, I would have to look more at it. Think about another grill or buy 4 to 5 miles rare hoodie season. Man, it's up to you, Cool Mo. It's I mean, obviously it's I feel like the kind of the general rule of thumb is to like buy the more expensive thing first, because that's the one that can like run away the easiest. Or if, you know, like we saw with Miles, like someone just buys you know, 5 of them were bought and the floor just did a 2.5x. But then again, the ones that are more expensive also have the most room to fall. So if, you know, if the market's going to pull back for another 6 months, you know, miles could go back to 4K or even lower. Ryan Coral, thanks for stopping by. It's been a minute. Hope you're doing well. Doctor Strange vibes. What's up, dude? Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I knew that stream took forever, but I'm glad we talked about X-Men. It was a lot of fun. It was awesome hanging out with you. Kind of curious if you're buying anything on Veve or doing anything. Jurassic Park has, oh, you're right. Jurassic Park, maybe there's a few more like environmental things like that. See, Jurassic Park I like because the gate's animated, the trees move, even though it's like super laggy. There's like more going on. Like that one I totally get. But if this is a completely static environment, the lights don't move, maybe there's, does it say animated at all? I don't think it says animated anywhere. It still looks cool as like a static thing. And of course the lower public mints are always nice. Now it's 31 instead of 41 for the public mints. I know. Are you guys going for this on the drop, or are you guys gonna wait in the secondary and see if it maybe goes on a retail, or maybe pick up a mint number you want? DJ Octo, yes sir. It's interactive with the neon lights. How do we know? That's right there. Duh. This interactive digital collectible doesn't just stop at eye candy. It's got neon lights that you can turn on and off, adding an extra dash of excitement. Maybe I should actually read, you know? Maybe I should actually read the paragraph. I'm just like guessing. I like what it is. But thanks, Rob. Okay, yeah, maybe I'll toss 20 gems at it. This is a pretty cool environment. I feel like I have to actually see it in AR though. Or at least like on Veve to get a better idea. That dino looks pretty cool. Environments, I'll buy any Star Wars. This is Pixar Cars, but I mean, I guess if you look at a certain angle, I guess it's Star Wars. Yeah, if we got some, imagine we got the cantina, just completely empty. You don't need to put aliens in there. You don't need to do anything. I mean, it would be kind of cool to actually have the band like in the corner, like playing music. But imagine we had the Star Wars cantina, and you could just put your digital collectibles like all around the bar and stuff like that, right? That would be sick. Sven, what's up? Hi vibes, glad to hear from you. Yeah, nice for you to stop by. When Venom? That's an amazing question. That's what I'm wondering. When was the last when did the symbiote drop? Because that's when we started actually crafting. April, May. Okay, it's been about a month and a half, almost 2 months since this. So I don't know how long Veve's gonna wait from the time of the symbiotes drop, because remember symbiotes was like you could buy it and use it to craft right away. So it's in about a week, it's gonna be, or 2 weeks I should say. Yeah, in 2 weeks it's gonna be 2 months since the symbiote dropped. So maybe around then Veve thinks, all right, 2 months is long enough for people to kind of craft what they want, and all that's craft what they want or what they need to craft this Carnage symbiotes and Venom. I don't know, sooner the better. Oh yeah, definitely my decision. You just asked what we were considering buying. Oh yeah. That's a tough question. It's like stacking versus, I mean, if you're planning on flipping it, right? If you're trying to flip it, I think you go with the 4 or 5 miles, right? It's much easier to time and sell 4 or 5 mile rares than it is to like time that one secret rare mile. That's kind of my thing now, is like before, it's so hard to time. If you have one expensive collectible and that's it, I'm assuming you would only hit, it would be your first miles. It's so hard to time the market, like when to sell, especially if you plan on selling right. I mean, if you're going to buy and keep forever, yeah, just buy miles, whatever, buy the SR. But if the goal is to like, all right, I'm kind of almost investing this and I want to be able to flip, you know, my rares as needed to buy other things, then yeah, get the 4 to 5 miles. This gives the cars some sort of utility where you can place the cars in the garage. Okay. And other cars too. Not even just the cars, but actual vehicles in Veve, you know? Weekend vibes hype. What's up, Pixel Trader? We were just talking about that little cars drive-through thing. Are you planning on buying that, or is there anything on Veve you're gonna keep an eye on? I think this looks pretty cool. It even says interactive, neon lights. There's some cheap stuff on the market right now for sure. We should be getting Venom and second Wolverine soon. Let's hope so. Venom and Carnage. I'm probably not going to play the whole crafting mechanic thing. Probably just end up buying Carnage and Venom in the secondary. All right, let's see what's up right now, but let's just look at the collectibles. Don't really care to look at comics right now. Wow, Lumpy Space Princess up 100-something%. So what was she going for before? Like 6 gems? Some people are definitely circling back around and picking up season 1 collectibles. Yeah, this was going for 5 gems at one point. Toby? People are picking up Toby's, I guess, because of the new drop. People finally putting respect on his name. Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. You know what? I have not looked at lightsabers in a minute. I know there's a lot of mints, but picking those up is probably not a terrible idea. I more recently, I've been kind of thinking about... I know Veveverse hasn't even come up as a topic, hardly ever, at all the last like 9 months, right? For Veve. But I think picking up things that are wieldable or equipable on like a, you know, on your person in the Veveverse could be a big deal. So that's why it's kind of like hoverboards, lightsabers, things like that. I do think those could do well, but again, it's a spec play until we actually get some sort of announcement or some footage or something of the Veveverse. You know, it's just speculation. Crafting has killed my gems every time I've done it. Yeah, unless you're planning on keeping the stuff anyway, or you're just crafting it to, you know. And of course, the more you buy and craft, the more likely you are to like get a low mint number. You could get lucky on a, you know, you try to craft something and get lucky on a low mint number. Sometimes you can floor that, not floor it, but get a good price for it and you can kind of make some money back. But I agree, the more often than not, crafting mechanics end up kind of biting you in the butt. At least if you're strictly going for like a flipping aspect, right? Because for the most part, usually just to alleviate the stress of like buying it, crafting it, and then flipping it and trying to like reduce your loss as much as possible. Typically it's just like better just like wait for the market and just buy it in the secondary that way. Maybe gold and silver. Okay, that one's up a bit. How low did this get at some point? It was at 4K. I swear every time all these things started pumping when the live stream with Aaron, Corey, and oh my god, I forgot her name. Let me look over here. You know, it starts with an A and it's killing me. I'm looking at her Twitter account. It doesn't say her name anywhere. Mr. Adam Schifano. What's that? Power of many. So we got a fan here. We got a fan of oh, it's with a D. Okay. Deanna, that's what it was. What's up, Adam? Adam's a fan of the Acolyte, I can tell. All right, let's take a look at something else here. All right, let's see what's down right now. Let's just take a look at the collectibles again. I like how both things at the top are like the secret rare, you know, I don't know what you call it, like monkey drop thingy that happened this morning. I like how the secret rare is up and then the rare and everything else is just down. Like the biggest losers and gainers of the day are both of those things. You know what? I have not looked at this in a minute. I feel like I want to snag it. I actually do kind of like this poster. This is one of the few, just because it's X-Men, right? But it's the 60-year anniversary poster. 60 Uncanny Years poster. I think it actually looks kind of cool. It's all the way down to 20 gems. So I actually don't mind that one. Is it still 20 gems right now? If I just type in 60, it might pull up. 60 Uncanny Years. Yeah, there's a couple for 20 right now. I actually do kind of like that poster. I think I'm going to pull the trigger on it right now, but let's see what else is down. Wreck-It Ralph is down 36%. I actually kind of like that movie. I thought it was it was above average, but I did enjoy it. It was definitely like, what's it called? Ready Player One-esque kind of vibes, right? A bunch of different IPs and a bunch of stuff kind of happening at the same time. I did like that. Actually, I do like this Mr. Knight. I remember I've owned him for a long time, but I remember sometimes I'll do AR pictures with him whenever I'm at like a bar or like a club or something like that, and he's dressed up, you know, in his tux. I always kind of like taking pictures of him in those like environments. Let's refresh this. Sometimes the listing refreshes every like 30 minutes, and so I try to refresh it. Let's stick with collectibles again. Ooh, Ben Riley's another one I've been trying to keep a close eye on. This is probably my favorite like collectible one of them. I do like this one and the ultra rare. It's just like when I think of Spider-Man, I think of this, not this version like the costume, but like more acrobatic, doing crazy poses. I know the Peter Parker one is got like more of like the classic poses, but I think these look cool as hell. So. I do like Ben Riley a lot. Hamoon says, I bought Ralph yesterday for 5 gemmies. That's a good deal. Things are getting so cheap now where I remember I used to look at collectibles and they were like 30, 40, 50 gems. I'm like, God, that's way too expensive. But now some of these collectibles are going for like 3, 4, 5 gems. I'm like, all right, whatever. Y'all throw $5 at this or 5 gems at it. I don't care. Something that's been like I've been thinking about over and over. Like there's I bet there's probably one on this list I could find. I know Ben Riley's one for sure. Doc Ock, first appearance of Doc Ock for 3 gems. I know it's the uncommon variant, but it's like the most classic looking pose and everything. Like this is not financial advice, of course, but pretty cool. Do I get rid of that one? Bucky Barnes. Mostly looking at FAs for the most part when I look at collectibles. I'm a firm believer in those. I mean, if you see something you like or that you think is cool. Jaunty Jig, gosh. I remember when these Steamboat Mickeys, even the common and uncommon were, what, like over 500 gems? Now they're worth 8. Go back further. Maybe not 500 gems, but... yeah, I remember these were going for like over 100 for a while. I don't think this is accurate though. Do Jig. I have to, while that loads, I'm still playing the MCP game. If we get big manga or another big IP, MCP will be important. Yeah, that's smart. I need to I kind of need to look at Veve set list again. How much what are some of the cheapest? We'll just do it right now before I forget. All right, for the flashbang there for you guys' eyes. While that thing is loading, what's some of the cheapest sets? Let's look at comics really quick. These have yet to be. Oh, wait, is this right? Any X-Men 170? What's that? Oh, this one. Okay, this is like Calypso or whatever. Like Calypso fighting Storm. Or I should say Aurora Monroe. The rare. Yeah, it's basically 2 gems per. I guess the pricing isn't like up to date on that. Yeah, because this says it's going for like $1.07 or $1.07 like per gem. So some of these might be a little pricing might be out of date, but yeah, we're at the point. I remember back in the day, it was like a big deal. Like if you could get 1 MCP point for every $4 or $5, it was like, ooh, that's a good deal. Now we're at a fourth of that, right? So mostly rares of pretty like mostly rares of like C and D tier comics, right? Or even lower. Mostly Tarzan stuff too. BV Wheels, what's up, dude? That's right, homie. 11, yeah, that's what I figured. I'm like, I could have sworn there was a period they were over 500 for a long time, but I could have sworn they're like over 1,000. Why would they use jaunty? What is up with this? What is Steam? All right, let's just refresh the page. And I don't know if it's my internet or what, but oh man, bringing up Steamboat, we're like, yeah, dude, hey, I still own my ultra rare. I held that shit all the way down. I'm right there with you. I think we both should have sold around the 10K rate. Yeah, dude, it was at 10K for like 10 days. I think it was for like a week and a half. We should have thought about it. But dude, that's when everyone was like in euphoria mode, right? Everyone was like, oh my god, odds gonna go to 100K by the end of the year and this and that. I'm like, what? There's something going on with my NFT tracker, so it's just not loading stuff. But I do remember jaunty, even the common and uncommon were like above a K, and they were above a 500 for a very long time. All right, let's just look at some comics really quick. Just kind of lurk around there. Actually, I want to look at comics here first. What is? Let's see what's up. Any ones that are interesting? Damn, I was kind of keeping an eye on that Captain America annual one. Well, Addiction Comics moving up a little bit. See, there's that rare, I don't know if you guys can see that. There's that rare X-Men 170 that we're just looking at. Looks like the price went up or someone bought it. Someone must have just accidentally listed it for like 2 gems or something. Well, let's see what's down. That's how I like looking to see what's down, because that's the stuff you want to buy, right? Or at least if you feel like on a discount. And I also look here at like what the price has been doing. So you can see the price has been moving up a lot the last 6 months. I mean, it's been pretty much in the green. But just this last day, it's gone down. Like just as like a snapshot, I just try to find stuff that's just been red. If it's just been red for a super long time, you're getting very close to the bottom of whatever that comic or collectible is. You won't know until you actually like open it up, right, and look at the charts. Silver Surfer number 3. Is that a first appearance of something? I'm not sure. Man, first appearance of Carnage comic, all the way down to 2 gems. This actually might not be a bad, again, not financial advice, this might not be a bad spec play. If they announce Venom and Carnage as like collectibles, I don't know what it is, but people always circle back around and like grab the comics or whatever, like a similar version or collectible is. Like we just saw it today with, who's the artist for this guy again? I always forget. Baseman. Forgot his first name, something Baseman. But yeah, like Baseman, like all the Toby stuff pumped because of this like announcement or this drop, right? So Maybe it's not something you're gonna make hundreds of gems on, but you could probably make a handful of gems doing this. I might have to play this one by ear. This cafe, Flo's cafe thing. I have a gut feeling it could go below retail shortly after. 1400 mints is still a lot. And in this market, 20 gems is more, is actually a lot in this market. Like, you can get a lot of stuff for 20 gems. Which reminds me, we should play a fun game of if this is gonna work. Go between 10 to 20. We'll look at collectibles. Fury Singh, what's up, dude? Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I'm hanging out. Been streaming for the better part of about an hour and a half right now. Let's see what collectibles we can get for between 10 to 20 gems. I'm gonna flip the, I gotta do it by floor price. Difference to all-time low. Ooh, I kind of like using that filter because this tells you what's at an all-time low. I mean, for 20 bucks, you can get a Batman versus Killer Croc. I know you guys are interested in that. Damn, Vader's TIE Fighter's down to 18? Is that true? Someone like mislist something? No, it's genuinely down to below 20 gems. For this thing at an 80 gem box price, and now it's down to 20 or below 20. Yeah, 80 gems. And there's not that many of these. According to this, there's like 3,500 of these. Non-FA Captain America, Labricorn. Labricorn's pretty funny. So these things, I organize it by all-time low. Wow, Excelsior, holy moly, this thing is low. 18 gems for Stanley. I do think Stanley is a sleeper that some people have really been thinking about. Sorry, I kind of filtered through those pages. I don't think, like, what are some other good ones that are worthwhile? Jason Fabik is cool, but he's not, he wouldn't be like my first pick of like what to buy between like 10 to 20 gems. Astro Boy? Maybe? I'm just trying to think like, okay, like what's an alternative to actually spending 20 gems on like the flow cafe thing, right? I think Flash FA is kind of slept on, but there's a lot of mints of it. 8,888. I remember Dragon Girl. We just looked at that earlier. That's the season 1 collectible that a lot of VVOGs like the Dragon Girls, you know, like Dragon Girls, Nightwing. There's certain collectibles that I think VVOGs. We just saw the Pitbull hoverboard. That's pretty cool too. You know what's stupid? That they don't make the vehicles of Star Wars detailed. I haven't really looked at them that close. I don't own any of the Star Wars vehicles. I haven't looked at them that closely, to be honest. Momo Alau? Sorry if I mispronounced that. Feels like 100 people holding Veve alive. Man, maybe a few more than 100 people, but I get what you mean. Like it is the most core and dedicated people. But it's two extremes. You have the most core and dedicated people / whales, whatever, kind of keeping it, not, I wouldn't say alive, right? But, you know, there's certain drops that happen that you're like, who are actually buying these drops? You know, a good example, unfortunately, is like the Blackpink like stadium thingy. Remember, it was like 50 gems for a kind of a static looking platform stadium looking thing. And I remember like, what, barely 100 of those sold? And there was like supposed to be 3,000 or something like that. Like hardly any sold. And I'm like, who's buying these? It's either one, flippers, or two, people that are like the most diehard. They'll just kind of buy every drop almost no matter what. Those are kind of the only two people left right now. I wouldn't say left on Veve, but just people that are just kind of going for like every drop, like no matter what seems like. That's why I'm kind of hesitant with the flow thing, because I'm like, I'm looking at this with 20 gems. I can buy like, I could stack 10 comics. I could buy, hell, I can buy Stan Lee thing. I'd kind of rather have, if you don't have a Stan Lee, this is one of the more iconic looking ones. Let's do it by floor price. instead. There's even some collectibles you can like double up on. I mean, some of these collectibles are already down 98%. And they can only go down so far. But now that cash out is here, I don't know, people might be flooring a bit harder. Those Zane Premium, yeah. Stan Lee, fun one to have in showroom in AR. Yeah, I like Stan Lee. I think my favorite one is the either the Excelsior or the Spider-Man one where he's shooting. King of Cameos is probably, I mean, it still looks good. It's probably my least favorite one. And then obviously the Nuff set is a good look too. I know it's an SR, but I'm talking about just strictly for aesthetics. I like probably the Amazing Stan Lee first, then Excelsior, then Nuff set, then King of Cameos. I only have 50 gems and waiting for Golden Moment C3PO to drop more. Yeah, let's look at C3PO really quick. Could get there. Let's actually look at a chart. Let's expand this. Whoops. Has he ever been down to 50? I don't think so. I got them all, but then you're like, what else can I do with it? Yeah, that's kind of my thing. Like, if Veve really wants to appeal to the masses, I think they need to be able to answer like a handful of questions. One of them being is, what is the utility / that's what like someone that's familiar with like the NFT or crypto digital collecting space would ask. Like, all right, what's the utility? Or if you're an everyday normie person that's never heard of collecting or never did it, or if your first time downloading Veve, their questions can be similar, but it's going to be more along the lines of, what does this do? Right? What does this do? Right? Because it seems like so far the only utility a lot of these things have is just AR, right? Which that can only take you so far. You know, believe it or not everyone on Veve is here just for the sheer love of collecting. You know, they want to be able to show it off. They want to be able to make use of these collectibles. Like, the whole point of this stuff being digital is that people can kind of collect this worldwide, and it opens up opportunities for licensors and IPs and stuff to kind of connect with their community in a different way, and then also offer perks. I mean, it's all done digitally, right? It's not like, hey, bring in your physical AF-15 comic to Disneyland, you can get like a free Spider-Man toy, or like, you know, or a Marvel toy or something like that. Like, no one's going to do that. No one wants to bring something that expensive or bulky or whatever it is to the park. But if there's a digital way you could redeem it or rent it out to other people, and then Disney and or Marvel and everyone can get royalties for the lifetime of that thing, and they can offer different rewards, you know, that's kind of the goal. So I think Veve's familiar with that. I think it's just licensors aren't really either bought in or don't either have the understanding or resources or the know-with-all, or they're just too afraid of regulatory risk. Who knows? But then again, we have things like Cryptoys, so they're already getting involved with crypto and other things like that. So we'll see. AI is the key. We need to be able to interact with collectibles. That too. Yeah, interacting with the collectibles would be awesome too. Real Hinano, what up, vibes, dude? Thanks for stopping by. I was just mentioning your the vibes NFT, the NFTs you gifted me, and I think I might actually start handing them out to my members, because I've been too lazy to make my own NFTs. So, well, we'll have to link up some point. I'm kind of curious what you use to create these NFTs and stuff like that. So, but yeah, we've just been mostly talking about random stuff, market, the Acolyte show, the boys. I don't know, what else have we talked about today? Mostly the market, a little bit of Cryptoys, all kinds of stuff. Also talked about this. I think this looks pretty cool. I'm probably going to hold off on this. I know it's interactive and all that stuff, but it's one of those collectibles I can take or leave it. This is something I'd want to buy for like 10 or 12 gems. 20, it's just not needed. Also looking a little bit at Veve set list too for MCP points if people care. Tucson, what's up? Can't wait to see what Cryptoys will do. Got 10 Cryptoys just in case. Nice. Yeah, I need to go to the market and buy some things. Some people were saying there's some really cheap Cryptoys for like $1 to $5, and so see, that sounds a whole lot better than me personally throwing 40 gems at a mystery box and just kind of hoping you get something good. Or you could spend those same $40 and probably get anywhere between what, 5 to 10 or 15 Cryptoys, even though they might be like low level. I don't know, because there's some of the ones that I do like that are just like common or whatever the lowest level rarities are. I disagree. Comics have utility. You can read them. Collectibles have AR utility. Make videos and photos. You can sell them. Some utility for set holders from time to time. I agree, but I think for it to like really take off, right? Like even some of the most like diehard people here on Veve that have been here for a long time, they want more than what's being offered, right? AR, you can only do AR for so long, right? I guess that's kind of like my thing. I think if people want, Todd or their Walt or whatever it is to be, worth 10K, 15K, 20, all these numbers, it needs to have utility that's worth 20K, right? Especially if the collecting aspect is gonna take off. So no, I'm talking about new people, right? If you told a new person, hey, buy C3PO, it's $60 and you can like take pictures with them, some people are like, I could take it or leave it, $60. I can take a picture of myself and Photoshop it and like C3PO, right? I don't know. Like I think it for what it is, it's good, but I think if you want to get people that don't know or understand like Web3 or like all that stuff, and you just want people to like get on the app and start collecting and start actually benefiting from like the collectibles beyond just owning it, that's it. And I think that's kind of where Veve's having a little bit of an identity crisis a little bit. It's like, all right, this is like a collector's app, but then there's also the investing aspect, and there's also like utility that is also can be like monetized, right? Like you can actually make money like these things in a way, right? You buy this, you get a digital collectible, and then you can sell that. I can sell that. Like there's a lot of different aspects to it. You get a physical, right, in exchange. So it's an answer that no one has like 100% answer to, right? I mean, I was just kind of spitballing off the top of my head. But I'll tell you, I mean, I brought up Veve to dozens and dozens and dozens of people, and usually Veve's just off on like, price point, utility, and what can you do with it? Okay, you can take pictures with it, but it's like I don't want to have to take picture like in order. I feel like for me to get my money's worth, it's like I would have to take pictures of C3PO all the time. I don't know, but I get what you mean. I'll pass on the cars. Not a fan of the IP. Currently just buying dollar bin comics. Same here. Dollar bin comics, and then some collectibles that are like 3 gems or even less. I think my last few collectibles I picked up were all pretty cheap. Like Sam Wilson, I think I bought this for 2 gems. I've always wanted to. I've been just snagging FAs or little things here and there that are like less than 3 gems. Like crotch shot Batman. It's not an FA. I think it's probably the Batman with the best action pose, and I think it would look really cool in AR. Like that to me is worth $3. Thor's hammer. There's not a ton of mints. I bought this for 6. Floor price is 9 now. I feel that people who are flipping and are down 50 to 90% want some fancy utility. Veve is forging ahead as a collector's app. If you own a Batman statue in your room, it just sits there collecting dust. True, right? And so I think that's why collectors want something more than that. It's like, I don't want just a digital version that just sits there. right? What else? Digital collecting is supposed to be the new frontier. I want to be able to do something with it more than just have it sit there and collect dust or collect digital dust, right? Can it give me an experience that having a physical can't offer, right? Do I get private viewings? Can I get secret access to this? Could I get a signed autograph of this guy and have it mailed to me, like by owning this digital collectible? Like as of right now, it's just not there, right? That's why we have people like the real, Hananu and other people in the community like offering their own utility of like, you own this NFT, we do a raffle, you get a comic, you get something physical. Okay, cool. There's actually a point, and there's also value beyond just the surface level of the collectible or of the NFT. The AR utility could be free on other apps in the future. The AR utility could be free on other apps in the future. True, yeah. I think it'd be really cool. I mean, the technology would be insane, right? But imagine you have your headset or you just have your phone and somehow you could like map your house and you can actually have like your collectibles like walk around your house, and like every time you pull up your phone, you can see who's where, right? I think that'd be kind of cool. Like imagine if you could like map out your house and you almost have your collectibles walking in like a digital parallel. They're always moving around, even if your phone's on or off, even if your phone's on or not. You just pull up your phone and you can just like look around your room and you're like, oh wow, Wolverine's just in my room hanging out, or someone's outside, whatever it is. I think it'd be kind of cool if they interact with each other in some way. I mean, that's like way down the road, right? But just kind of like static AR, static stuff. It's good, but it's not enough right now. And I think that's what Veve, and that's the answer everyone's trying to figure out. That's why Cryptoids is trying to add like a gaming element, because as of right now, you can't really like play with your NFTs, right? At least on Veve. But with Cryptoids, yeah, if you can play with them and there's games and this and that, and there's actually a value or a deemed power or something like that with having those little levels. I don't know what they're called, but that's correct. There's no real answer, and I feel that people who invested in high value collectibles would be getting burned. No way, collectibles going to 10 to 15K. Yeah, that's kind of like I said, unless digital collecting takes off, and one way to have that help or take off is that if you get utility that gives you really exclusive or unique access that no one else can get other than having that thing, it could be worth that much. There's whales out there right now buying stuff for 7K, Miles Morales, and it has no utility. I mean, it looks cool, but imagine if now they actually have like valuable utility to it. That's where you can actually have some things pushed to 10 or 15K. But as of right now, I agree. I remember thinking to myself years ago when Steamboat Willie was at like 10K, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, wow, like, are people really going to download Veve and just throw like $10,000 at Steamboat Willie? I mean, it has music and it dances around, but other than that, are people going to throw that kind of money at a collectible right now? No. But if Steamboat Willie gave you some crazy access to Disneyland or whatever, then maybe. I think a new person needs to be convinced that there's value in these collectibles. No one IRL that I've shown the app to wants to buy these. They don't care about AR or reading comics. Yeah, that's kind of my thing too. There's already kind of answers to those things, right? It's not worth, let's say you like X-Men. You're like, cool, I want to buy all the X-Men that's on Veve. It's like, it's probably going to cost you 300 gems at least. You buy Wolverine, you buy whatever, it's going to cost you $300-400, and that's just to do AR. I would like to set up my AR room with collectibles and be able to take them on the road with me and set up my room in a new place, hotel, Airbnb. Yeah, that'd be cool. That's like a step in the right direction. Either take the room with you. I don't know how you would map your room or whatever it'd do, but I'm talking like collectibles that would actually like interact with like a digital door or whatever it is, or like your walls. Like it can't just like phase through your walls unless it's a collectible or character that can. But I agree, Hinano. This is the issue I kind of ran into. It was, the first thing was price point, which is like, okay, like usually it was like, okay, this seems kind of cool. I could do AR. They look cool. Cool. How much is Cyclops? It's like, a couple bucks, right? Maybe $5 at most. I know it's $25 or what, $30 to buy, like $30. I can buy a lot of stuff with that with $30. That's like a really nice dinner or whatever it is, right? It's just the perceived value just doesn't match. It just doesn't match, you know, their perceived value for the most part. Cryptoids has an interesting offer because their NFTs are rigged for gaming and an AI component attached to the collectible. Not to mention when you buy a Cryptoid, you get 2 NFTs. See, like I agree with that aspect, and I've done stuff on. Let me show you guys something. I haven't done this in an extremely long time, but I know I've mentioned this before, but there's like a whole I haven't looked at this page in probably like 5 years. If you guys know what TF2 is, I've probably made a few grand doing this way back in the day. I don't do it anymore, but there's like a whole like digital economy where people trade weapons and guns and rarity and crafting and different levels and all this stuff. Like this hat is worth $1,600, and this is like a 15-year-old game. There's a whole marketplace. People are buying and selling these things like every day. The main reason why it has so much value, I don't think anyone's going to buy this for that much, but there's even like a people started almost using certain collectibles, or I should say, I'll call it a collectible, as like currency too. So I think eventually, after a long period of time, Todd is going to find an equilibrium. You know, let's just say eventually Todd just gets to I don't know. Let's just call it $500, and it just stays very random. Like it almost becomes like stable. Like people are like, all right, I'll give you 2 Todds for this, or 2 Todds plus 20 gems for that thing. Like this is kind of what's happening on, like Team Fortress 2. But the main thing is that there's a game. Like you can wear these, you can show them off, you can trade to other people. This is also attached to like the whole Steam marketplace. So you can actually sell one of these items and then actually buy games on Steam with that money, because it's all attached to like the Steam marketplace. For the most part, and that's kind of where the cash out portion with Veve comes in, or why it's so good now. Is cool. Yeah, you can buy a collectible, you can sell it, cash out, and like buy something else with it, right? Especially if it's like connected to crypto, if they give the option like for crypto cash out, and all that. But yeah, like some of this stuff, like people put up an offer, they'll give like a history of their like marketplace sales. Whoops. This is the history of the item. These are all the people that owned it prior. Like this guy first owned it August 28, 2022. So you can actually see the history. So people like to sell their collectibles for a higher price if it has a shorter history versus a collectible that has like 200 people that owned it before. Like there's like a whole economy that goes. I haven't looked at this in like probably like 8 years or something like that. But there's like a whole. This is kind of where I see Veve eventually kind of going. This is all community driven and created and made. Like, you know, I don't think Valve intended for this to be a crazy marketplace for people, but it just kind of turned that way. The community turned it into that thing. So I also like the fact that you can do offers and stuff like that, and then there's also cool emotes you can do with like your characters. I don't know. So kind of enough about that. I might even make a video about this one day, and like this is kind of where I see the direction. There was a really cool website called something bizarre, and you could put up a list of collectibles that or a list of hats or weapons that you could like buy, and then weapons or collectibles that you were looking on the other side, like a trade, right? Like I have a Todd and I want to buy a Miles and a this for the I'll do a 2-for-1 trade. I'll give you this for these 2 things, you know. I'm not logged in Steam. I'm not planning on doing it, but there's even like a huge spreadsheet. There's that community like pricing a spreadsheet that actually has like up-to-date information on stuff. I don't think you need to get this granular with it. And I know this is the kind of thing that basically Veve is trying to avoid, but I think right now a key is worth about $2, maybe a little bit more. So when someone's asking for 3,000 keys, that means basically $6 grand. Some of these prices are just ridiculous. I don't think they're just like overvaluing stuff. Browse by item. So these are all the hats. And then within that hat, there's like different effects and stuff like that. So I don't want to spend too much time on this, but yeah, this is like, I think if we're talking like way down the road, you get community, you get some people that are insanely good with pricing and spreadsheets and all that kind of stuff. And if we get to the point where you can actually buy an NFT or something that kind of fundamentally changes the collectible, kind of like the Venomized thing, people will do that, and then all of a sudden old collectibles become more scarce because they're transformed into something else. It's kind of like a burning mechanic, in a sense. But Furious Thing says, I bet you $50 bill that SR Miles will go down in value if another Spider-Man is dropped on Veve, animated, interactive, and customizable. Animated partner statue dropped. Proof gold one is gone. Oh, proof gold. Okay, so I don't know, it depends on how much value people put on first appearance, right? I mean, I hate to go back to it, but let's see. I'm trying to think. There's the old in this game, the old school hats are worth the most. This is like the, can I sort by numbers of existing item name, average price? There's no way to look at like the hats from age, but this is like the most iconic hat in the game. It's called a team captain. It's supposed to resemble, like, I don't know if you guys played Street Fighter, like Bison's like hat or whatever, but this is supposed to be like resembles that. This is the most iconic hat in the game. And this is like the first, like, this is like the Spider-Man or Walt of TF2. And it's like, if you get this with the higher scarcity or whatever it is, people are spending tens of thousands of dollars on. So the old school ones are the best, even though this one doesn't have like as good effects as the other ones, because new effects didn't come out for hats till like later on, like way later. But even then, I don't know. I get what you mean. I'm not sure if like, I still think the classic ones are going to go down in price, but there's still going to be some novelty to like the old season 1 collectibles or the first appearance collectibles. I do think if there's like a new Miles that got released and it's like fully rigged and it could do like 10 times as many things as Miles, yeah, the original Miles might go down a little bit, but I just don't see people flooring their FA Miles to buy the new shiny Miles. I mean, that could be the case. I mean, it's been like that before. It could happen. CSGO or Counter-Strike 2 still has super high value weapon sales, which is a funny thing because these people don't own this. Like if you own these things on Steam, like Steam technically owns these, they just give you the license to temporarily for an indefinite amount of time to basically own these or use these. So even on Steam, this is a walled garden in a way. Like you can't take this and sell it on eBay or something like that. I'm sure you probably could come to an agreement, do a trade or whatever, but like you can't take these off platform. Like Steam itself is a walled garden, yet there's literally probably easily millions of dollars that flows through just TF2. Like I don't know, on a monthly, I don't know how much money flows in and out of it, but if hats are going for this much and people are trading all the time, I mean, this thing has been going on for like 15 years. But I do agree. I think people's perspective has changed a bit, because I do know back in the day it used to be that way. Whenever like a new shiny thing came out of like a similar collectible or whatever, people would just floor it and like buy the new one, or people would floor it because it kind of devalues the old one. It does in a certain way until people start asking like, all right, what's the first appearance, right? Like I don't think this is probably a terrible example, but like I don't, like in real life, I don't think AF-15 went down in value when like Peter Parker got his black suit, or when Miles Morales or like Ben Riley got like announced, or like, oh,